Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new year of royal readings here on Mad World Tarot. I have the new Palladini Tarot on the tarot table, and I'm going to be starting these look aheads for 2023. I did them last year. I'm going to read on the main cast of characters in the royal family, the working royals, the faraway royals, senior royals, and some of the not so senior royals as the mood strikes me. I'm not going to go in any particular order. I have started today, I have decided to start today with Prince William, because in my opinion, Prince William is the one that is in for a real humdinger of a year because of that book. And of course that book is coming out in just over a week, and we've been told to expect that the book will go easy on King Charles, but it will be very hard on Prince William, so hard that the relationship between the two brothers will never recover. So that is what's in the news at the moment. So that's why Prince William is in my mind and my thoughts, and that's why I'm doing this year ahead reading, starting with Prince William. I'm using the new Palladini Tarot, and as I always do with these readings, I'm going to base it on the astrological wheel, the 12 houses of the zodiac. So the tarot cards will be laid out and will follow the meanings that are ascribed to the 12 houses of the zodiac, and I'll explain them as I go along, and hopefully can fit them all in. And what else do I need to say? I need to remind you, of course, that this is a tarot reading just for entertainment purposes, or just my opinion and speculation. And I use the royal family because it's archetypal family, and we can learn from what is happening to them and apply what is happening to them to our own lives. And let me count the cards and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's it. Underlying energy, Queen of Swords. And of course there is a written disclaimer in the box below, and I've got all the housekeeping out of the way, except to tell you that I have started a new Royals playlist for this brand new year. It's Royals 2023, and I'm starting again from 1. So this is reading number 1 for this brand new Royals playlist. And I hope you are all well and you all had a fabulous new year and are well rested and invigorated and ready to face a brand new year. I certainly am, even though it's incredibly hot here in the Western Cape where I am. Summer has finally arrived. And the signifier, interestingly, for this year for Prince William, according to these cards, is the Queen of Swords. That is the late Queen Elizabeth, very much on his mind, very much, I think, influencing the way he is going to be handling himself this year, and the decisions he makes, the things that he does. She, of course, coached him, spent a lot of time with him as he was growing up when he was at Eton, just around the corner from her. Those Sunday afternoon chats over tea, and I'm sure tasty treats away from school. And so she coached him and she taught him. And this is a very interesting card because it's a very wise, very shrewd, it's a very a female mind. It's a more intuitive mind than a masculine energy. Dare I say such things now? I don't know, but that's what the tarot is about, and that's the energy that's coming off this card. So there it is. I think it's a healthy energy. It's wise, it's shrewd, it's intuitive. Even though he's male, of course he can express feminine energy, and this energy is, I think, skillfully shrewd and wise, not necessarily aggressive, but more behind the scenes energy, the feminine and the masculine expressing themselves that way. So let's see. First card is his public profile, how he's going to be handling himself in the year ahead. We've got the Hermit in reverse. Hermit in reverse is somebody who's come in from the cold, who's come out of seclusion, who has come back to people with some sort of wisdom, some insight. He's retreated. He's possibly taken himself away for some soul searching and for some thinking and some strategizing, and he's coming back now, always like a prophet. That's the Hermit in the reverse, in its best energy, is somebody who has thought a lot and contemplated and grown and has come back wiser. And I think people are going to see that about him, that he has gone through some kind of maturing process. And it is also, of course, the Virgo card. The Hermit is, of course, Prince Harry, his brother who is away, who is in trouble, possibly, potentially, who is causing trouble very clearly. And so there is going to be that aspect, that energy around him. He's got already 2 family members in his energy field here. And I can't tell you what trouble I had getting this reading out. This is the 4th time I have started this reading. Cards went flying, camera went flying, voice disappeared. It's taken a while to dial into this energy. I have shuffled and shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. And many things have gone wrong, insane number of things have gone wrong to get to this reading. And I know when that happens, universe really wants very specific cards out, and it will just keep causing trouble until the right cards come out. And here we have it. We have the late Queen and we have Harry in the energy field of the Prince of Wales. So, and people are going to see it very clearly. He's carrying that energy around with him in public. How are his values, his finances, the 2nd house, the 2nd card of this reading? He's, of course, got a whole ton of money at his disposal now. We've got the Ace of Swords. New stuff. He's going to be involved in very new projects now in this coming year. He's got the cash to splash now with the Duchy of Cornwall. He's a very, very, very wealthy man. And allegedly, the fact that he is a very, very wealthy man is at the root of a lot of the trouble that is coming from California. But with that Ace of Swords, there's a crown, there's a sword of justice and truth. He's holding that crown aloft. He's going to be, how similar are these 2 cards, just by the way? I think he's going to be continuing a lot of the Elizabethan traditions, what his late grandmother stood for. He's going to be continuing reimagining for a modern world. But I think we're going to see that tradition, possibly something to do with the Commonwealth. I'm not sure what that is about. But there's a new message. There's a new, it's a vigorous energy. It's a very, you're going to notice it. You're going to hear it. He's going to be putting out messages. He's going to be inspiring people. He's going to come across as visionary. I'm very impressed by this card. It's very powerful. And the dog, who has had a late walk and a feed and should be on his bed sleeping now, has decided to get up and shout at that point. So the dog agrees, our deaf husky. And he's come to sit with me as I do this reading. So that card he thought was noteworthy. Tell us about the 3rd house now, the tricky house for Prince William. Siblings, Page of Cups in reverse. It's heartache, it's loss, it's people who owe each other apologies, people who are not speaking, people who are upset with each other, hurt, wounded, maybe sending hurt messages or silence or icing out with that Page of Cups. It's a messenger, but it's a messenger that's not communicating. Or if it is communicating, it's sniping, it's being petty and spiteful and sour. Things are not going to go well between those 2 brothers. This is not a disastrous card. And I see that in the readings that I do on William and his view of his younger brother. It's not, I will never talk to you again or anything like that. He's concerned about Harry, but he's also maintaining quite a safe distance from Harry while this drama plays itself out, exhausts itself. Let's hope it does eventually at some stage wear itself out. But that's the no speaks, and that's the upset card, the fallout, hurt feelings and all of that stuff. I don't need to labor the point. It's obvious every day in the messages that we see in the press what is going on between them. Life on the home front, the family, the home, the house, they've moved recently, the Wales, the 6 of Cups. Happy. It's a happy energy. He's back in a place because he's, of course, at Windsor now. He's in a place where he has very happy memories from childhood, and he's forging new memories with his children in that same place. So behind the scenes there's a lot of unity. There's a lot of joy there, playfulness, innocence. It's children being children. It's really enjoying themselves. They're really working hard is a completely wrong expression, but they're making sure that the children get the childhood that they need, a very stable one, full of fun, full of healthy activities, full of memories that they can look back at and say, what a wonderful childhood we had, how happy we were. That is what's going on here. And it's also what William is looking back at, and it's sitting right under the late Queen. William is looking back and saying how wonderful it was to be in her energy as a young boy. I think she was very involved in the children's lives, and of course, particularly when he lost his mother. And so that's interesting energy. Tell us about children. How's his relationship going with his children? What's going on with them? Any worries? Is it all good? Knight of Pentacles, it's all good. It's all solid. They're progressing the way they need to progress. The Knight of Pentacles is a steady progress, steady movement forward, slow but steady. Building that solid foundation. I'm getting a very, very, very wise, healthy, positive, grounded energy from him here. We're getting a good mix of cups and swords and pentacles. In this reading, we don't have wands yet, but it doesn't matter. It's just he is being a very good role model for his children with that Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is a fantastic role model. It's still youngish energy. He is a prince still, but he's showing them the way. Literally showing them the way, just as she, who is the center and the heart of this reading, very powerfully so, showed him the way. He's passing that on, Six of Cups, to his children. Tell us about work, tell us about health for Prince William. These are the areas where I start to get a little bit concerned for him. Tell us about that, yeah, and we she's popped up. What a surprise. We've got the Queen of Wands in reverse. Did I mention wands? And there she is. That's the Queen of Wands in reverse. She's going to be a shadow over him. She, when I say she, the wife, is our archetypal queen. I can use that word and I can use it correctly. The Queen of Wands, our wife in Montecito, is the archetypal Queen of Wands in reverse. Drama queen, difficult, tantrums, leading people, misleading people, and I don't mean by being deceptive. I mean wrong message, putting the wrong message out. But drama is going to overshadow his work. It's going to affect possibly even his health. And I don't want to say that, but it is always in the back of my mind with William that he needs to look after his health where she is concerned, because I think it eats away at him. So some quite main characters have shown up here in this reading. She is going to overshadow his work, as she tried very hard to do with the Earthshot Award in Boston late last year. Similar energy, similar tricks, similar games going on, in my opinion, as a tarot reader. Marriage, partnerships, how's that going? We've got the Sun in reverse. Something is overshadowing it this coming year. It's a very unhappy card, and what is overshadowing it is a Leo energy. Same energy is going to be causing trouble. There is not trouble between them and their marriage. I don't get that energy off the card at all. I get the energy of they're going to be overshadowed. There is going to be some attempt to undermine and overshadow and be negative and try and detract and try and claim that the marriage isn't all it's cracked up to be. We've got the book coming out, Spare. I'm sure that there will be quite barbs thrown William's way and Catherine's in that. And then we've got the threat of Madame herself's memoir. And I'm going to read on that next if I have energy for it at the end of this reading and see what's going on with that. But yeah, a shadow literally over the sun. They are very happy in themselves with the Sun card, but something is overshadowing it this coming year, and I'm sorry to see that. I'm sorry to see these cards not surprised. This, all good. this problematic? How's he dealing with transformation, with energy, with power? Things that with death that has occurred to him. The High Priestess, it's made him more spiritual. I think he has, and possibly this is what this is about. And I'm not going to get all religious at this point, but I want to point it out because the Queen was a woman of very powerful faith, very public faith. I think that Prince William could be having a bit of a, should I say, road to Damascus moment. I don't mean it as dramatically as that, but I think that there's something quite powerful going on with it. I've got the Hermit in reverse and I've got the High Priestess in this reading, both very spiritual cards, both seeking, both looking, both finding answers. This one, he's found certain answers that he's coming back to tell us about. Here, he's very aware. Again, it's female energy. Same. Look at that. Same. He's aware of something he wasn't aware of before. The mystery, an insight. Very, very potent energy again. I'm increasingly impressed by him and the kind of light that he is beginning to express very powerfully. And this is why this is happening over here, this desire to overshadow and to diminish, because this light that the sun embodies threatens this very much, threatens what this energy represents, and it does just represent enormous void, enormous darkness. Don't want to get too creepy here today on the first day of this new year. So let's move on and let's look at international travel, things like Earthshot, things like tours, what's been going on there. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Not brilliant. Not brilliant. That's a Catherine card, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Might be something going on with her. Something going on which also might have to do with the Sun card in reverse. Don't know. I don't want to speculate on what that is about. If it's not Catherine, then this Queen of Pentacles is the late Queen again, who was also a Queen of Pentacles, who's come up again. And something to do with her legacy, Commonwealth countries not going well there. That the Commonwealth is very clearly under attack. With the Montecito messaging that's going out relentlessly. And that could be what's going on here, because I'm talking about international travel and tours and things like that in this year ahead that may they may have difficulty like they had last year when they went to the Caribbean. And it was awkward. They had some quite seriously awkward moments that seemed to be quite engineered, in my opinion. It could happen again. But there could be something going on with Catherine. There could even be, and I dare I say it, there could be an unexpected pregnancy or illness or something like that that takes her out of the picture for a while. And hence the Sun in reverse as well. Something going on there. I don't want to speculate too much. We're looking at energy, and I don't want to cause consternation. I might throw a card on it later. Let's just see. Let's have a look at how he's doing as Prince of Wales. Of course, he's had to tread very carefully there and be quite low-key about it. But how's that going? His new status, it's a burden for him. It's difficult. It really is difficult, and he'd rather not have this burden, quite honestly. This isn't something he looks at and thinks, yay, I'm so glad that I'm the Prince of Wales. It is a high honour, and I'm not being disrespectful to the people of Wales at all. But of course, times have changed since Charles was made Prince of Wales. Times have changed enormously. Same with this Commonwealth card. This is kind of telling me that we're talking about the Commonwealth here, so don't all get in a panic about this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I think it's the same thing. I think he's thinking, I wish I didn't have to be the one that carried this burden, when this is something that is probably going to have to stop at some stage. This is something we're going to have to rethink quite seriously. And I'm sure all kinds of conversations are going on about what precisely to do about titles like this and honours like this that are now not particularly appropriate and not particularly relevant anymore. that card now is quite clear to me, so I'm not going to pull a card on it. Commonwealth is a problem. Being the Prince of Wales is a problem as well. Poor William, he has landed. As I said, I picked him because to my mind, he's the one with the most difficult path to tread this year. And the dog agrees. Dog's just having a bark, and it's about these roles that need to be reimagined and re-envisioned, and he's working on it. He really is working on it. He's thinking about this. He really is thinking about it. This also is about partnerships. The Sun card in reverse, just by the way, Sun setting over the British Empire. Quite a clear message with that Sun card in reverse, because it's not just about marriages, it's about partnerships, and you could call the Commonwealth a partnership, and it's in trouble. It's clearly in trouble, and William is very aware of it, so I think we figured that out over there. Tell us about his own personal goals, ideals, dreams, things he'd like to be doing, projects that he's got going. Well, we know we've got Earthshot, but I think others are coming. How's that going? King of Wands in reverse. He's not, he doesn't feel free yet to do what he wants to do. And this is a king in waiting, King of Wands. He's a king in waiting, and he has his own ideas about stuff that he wants to do. He really, when the time comes, assuming that the time comes, and hoping that the time comes in the fullness of time, as the late Queen would say, he has got all kinds of things that he wants to do. A visionary, this is a visionary man, but this is a visionary man in waiting. Cards in reverse you can read in many ways, and one of the main ways is to read them as waiting, something that hasn't happened yet. He hasn't, he isn't the kingpin at the moment. He's not the big cheese. He's not the one who decides. But he's working on it. He's working on it. He's thought about it, and he's working on it. He's very focused on his family right now. He's very concerned about the roles that he views as no longer appropriate and quite burdensome. He is aware of things disappearing. He is aware of trouble being overshadowed and trouble caused in his life. But let's have a look at the last card of this reading. Whew, I'm quite exhausted. It's a very, as I said at the beginning, I think, very hot and steamy day here. So I'm literally dripping as I'm doing this reading. A lot of energy coming off these cards, burning through these cards. Final card is, of course, the hidden. What's in your subconscious, what loneliness, self-sabotage, shadow, all those kinds of things. It can also be mental health, so those kinds of things. What's going on? Three of Pentacles. Behind the scenes, he's working on stuff. Just as I have seen it, it's confirmation for me that behind the scenes, he's got teams. Three of Pentacles is a teamwork card. He has got teams researching, looking, exploring, possibly even traveling, listening, think tanks, focus groups, all those kinds of things. Sorry about my 90s references. I'm a bit out of date with all that kind of talk. But that kind of thing is going on. He's doing his homework about this King of Wands energy in reverse. He's out there working on it, taking notes, doing research, listening, thinking. And fortunately for us, this is a man with an actual brain, unlike, in my opinion, the younger one, who sadly is not so gifted intellectually, shall we just say. That is the reading for the Prince of Wales, Prince William, in his year ahead. And I wish him well, and I wish all of you well. And thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.